I was born in They paved my playground before I could walk. I learned to run on cracks that cut my feet. The neighborhood didn't raise me gently, but gently doesn't build the ones who don't retreat. I don't need your pity, save it for someone else. My scars are my resume, read them carefully. Every closed door just taught me how to kick it open. Now I don't knock, I enter like I own the key. Concrete and fire, that's what I'm made of. Concrete and fire, you can't break what's baked in flame. I rose from the gray now the gray is my kingdom. Unshaken, unshaken, I'm still here just the same. They said the block would hold me down forever, but the block just gave me gravity to jump. I took every loss and turned it into leverage. Now the same streets that watch me fall, watch me erupt. I don't carry anger that's too heavy for the climb. I carry proof that concrete grows whatever you plant in it. They saw a dead end, I saw a starting line. Now I'm standing where they said I'd never be, living at the limit. Concrete and fire, that's what I'm made of. Concrete and fire, you can't break what's baked in flame. I rose from the gray now the gray is my kingdom. Unshaken, unshaken, I'm still here just the same. 808, 4 heavy hits. The same fire that burns can forge. 808 hit. I was built for this. Slow pulse like a confession. Voice alone heavy, then lifting. I forgave myself today. I forgave myself today. I carry guilt for things I did to survive. I punish myself for choices made in the dark. But survival doesn't ask for perfection, and the past doesn't change, but my heart can restart. The person I was didn't know what I know now, so why do I hold her to today's standard? She did what she could with what she had, and that girl deserves a break, not to be slandered. The day I forgave myself, the walls came down. I didn't know I was the prisoner and the guard. I dropped the keys I've been holding for years. Unshaken, unshaken, my sentence was pardoned. I used to replay my mistakes like every wrong turn, every word I wish I'd held back. But regret is a mirror that only shows the past, and then I'm walking forward and not looking back. Forgiveness didn't come from anyone else's mouth. It came from me looking at my own reflection and saying, you did enough, you are enough. Now I move without the weight of perfection. The day I forgave myself, the walls came down. I didn't know I was the prisoner and the guard. I dropped the keys I've been holding for years. Unshaken, unshaken, my sentence was pardoned. waiting for permission from no one but myself. Permission granted, I am free. I forgave myself today. I forgave myself today. Unshaken. Walls are just doors I haven't opened yet. Walls are just doors I haven't opened yet. Every wall they built in front of me, I treat it like a question, not an answer. How do I go through? Not around, not back. The harder the surface, the deeper my hunger. I've hit my head against concrete more times than I count, but eventually concrete learns who I am. I don't break walls with force, I break them with presence. I stand there until they understand. I'm walking through walls like they're made of paper. Every no became a yes, I had to invent. The obstacle is not the end of my road. Unshaken, unshaken, the wall just bent. They said you can't, like it was a law of physics, but laws are made to be rewritten by the brave. I'm not special, I'm just unwilling to stop, and the walls got tired of watching me behave. Persistence is not loud, it's quiet and long. It's showing up after everyone else has left. It's hitting the same wall for the 1,000th time, and believing the 1,001st is where the crack is cleft. I'm walking through walls like they're made of paper. Every no became a yes, I had to invent. The obstacle is not the end of my road. Unshaken, unshaken, the wall just bent. Are afraid of time. I have more time than walls have patience. I will outlast every single one. Walls are just doors I haven't opened yet. Walls are just doors I haven't opened yet. They emptied my pockets, took my peace for a while. They stole my trust, my sense of safe, my smile. But there was something in my chest they couldn't reach, a gift buried so deep, even after for a while. It's not money, not status, not anything they could hold. It's the thing I was born with, the thing that won't fold. The gift they couldn't take is the one they didn't see, because it lives in the part of me that stays free. The gift they couldn't take is still inside my ribs. It's the fire that survived when they took everything else. You can rob a body, you can't rob a spirit. Unshaken, unshaken, I kept it for myself. somewhere deep inside. The gift is not what I do, it's who I am. It's the way I see light when the room is dark. It's the way I find music in the silence. It's the unkillable part, the eternal spark. The gift they couldn't take is still inside my ribs. It's the fire that survived when they took everything else. You can rob a body, you can't rob a spirit. Unshaken, unshaken, I kept it for myself. You took my things, but not my essence. I am still here, still gifted. Unshaken, unshaken, I kept it for myself. Small victories kept me alive. Small victories kept me alive. The world only celebrates the big moments, the trophy, the stage, the crowd, the shine. But I celebrate the mornings I got out and everything in me said stay down, resign. Small victories don't make headlines, but they make a life one breath at a time. Getting through the hour, choosing to eat, finishing one task when I'm climbing a mountain of grime. Small victories are the currency of survival. Nobody claps, but my soul knows the score. Every tiny win is a brick in my foundation. Unshaken, unshaken, I'm building something more. I learned to celebrate the things no one sees. The shower I took when I wanted to disappear. The call I made when silence was easier. The step I took when I was paralyzed by fear. These are not nothing, these are everything. The big wins come from the small ones stacked high. I don't need a stadium to validate my progress. I need my own two eyes to see the small victories fly. Small victories are the currency of survival. Nobody claps, but my soul knows the score. Every tiny win is a brick in my foundation. Unshaken, unshaken, I'm building something more. Drop 808 alone. 4 hits, voice written more. I got up today. That's a victory. It again. Small victories are the currency of survival. Nobody claps, but my soul knows the score. Every tiny win is a brick in my foundation. Unshaken, unshaken, I'm building something. The hardest goodbye was the one I chose. hardest goodbye was the one I chose. I've been left before, that pain was sharp. Believing something I love, that cut deeper. Because staying was killing me slowly, and leaving was the only way to keep her. The hardest goodbye is not when they go, it's when you walk away from what you outgrew. The love was real, but love is not always enough. Sometimes love means leaving so both of you can be true. The hardest goodbye
was the hardest goodbye one I chose for myself.
Not because I stopped caring, because I started. I left to save what was left of my soul. Unshaken, unshaken, even when it hurts the hardest. I stayed too long in rooms that were shrinking. I held on to people who were holding me down. But loyalty to the wrong thing is not loyalty. It's a slow drowning without a sound. So I packed my love and I left it at the door. Not with anger, with gratitude for what it was. But what it was is not what I need now, and I need to grow, so I paused. The hardest goodbye
was the hardest goodbye one I chose for myself.
Not because I stopped caring, because I started. I left to save what was left of my soul. Unshaken, unshaken, even when it hurts the hardest. Goodbye is not failure, goodbye is growth. I choose me, finally. The hardest goodbye was the hardest goodbye one I chose for myself. Not because I stopped caring, because I started. I left to save what was left of my soul. Unshaken, unshaken. I've been concrete, I've been fire, I've been awake, I've been rising. I've carried weight that should have crushed me. I've worn scars that learned to glow. I've risen while they watched in silence. I've lost so much, I learned to grow. I've rested after storms that nearly killed me. I've kept my roots where they said nothing grows. I've started over more times than I remember. I've stopped expecting and now I know. I am concrete, I am fire, I am weight that lifts. I am scars that light the darkness. I am every small victory. I am the hardest goodbye I ever chose. Unshaken, unshaken, this is my story. I forgave myself when no one else would. I walked through walls that thought they'd hold. I kept the gift they couldn't take from me. I learned that silence is not cold. No one knows me anything, and that freed me. The art of starting over is my art. Small victories build my foundation, and I carry my block inside my heart. I am concrete, concrete, I am fire, I am weight that lifts, I am scars that light the darkness, I am every small victory, I am the hardest goodbye I ever chose. Unshaken, unshaken, this is my story. I am concrete, I am fire, I am weight that lifts, I am scars that light the darkness, I am every small victory, I am the hardest goodbye I ever chose. Unshaken, unshaken, this is my story. Fade away low, fade away, weight on my shoulders, weight on my shoulders. They put weight on my shoulders, weight on my shoulders. I carry what they gave me. Didn't ask for permission, every stone on my back was supposed to stop my climb. But stones don't stop momentum, they build pressure, and pressure either crushes you or makes you diamond. Every time I learned to thank the ones who tried to bury me, they didn't know they were just adding weight to my leap. The heavier the load, the deeper my roots had to grow. Now I don't walk, I press, and the ground knows my feet.
The weight that was supposed to sink me lifted me higher. Every burden then became a step I didn't break. I bent. They gave me stones, I built a ladder. Unshaken, unshaken, watch me ascend.
I stopped asking why me a long time ago. Now I ask what's next, the difference is everything. Victim or victor, same story, different lens. I chose the lens that turns pressure into offering. The heaviest moment of my life taught me lightness, because when you carry what you thought would kill you, and you're still standing, suddenly nothing feels heavy. Now I wear my past like armor, not like a wound. That was supposed to sink me, lifted me higher. Every burden then became a step I didn't break, I bent. They gave me stones, I built a ladder. Unshaken, unshaken, watch me ascend. Stop me, 808. They made me faster. I don't hide my scars anymore. I don't hide my scars anymore. I don't hide the parts that looked anymore. I don't hide, doesn't want to see what's been broken. But my scars are the only map I trust now. Every line word that's been spoken. I stopped apologizing for what hurt me. You wanna know who I am? Look at what I survived. The smooth parts of me are just the places untouched. The rough parts are where I came alive. My scars don't hide, they glow in the dark now. Every wound I wouldn't show became a lantern I hold. The ugliest parts of my story are the most beautiful. Unshaken, unshaken, watch me be bold. I used to wear long sleeves in the summer. Now I wear my history like a crown that fits perfectly. The ones who stare don't understand the geometry of healing. My body is a journal and every entry set me free. What broke me open, let the light in. You can't unbreak what's been rebuilt with gold. Kintsugi soul, I don't need to be flawless. The cracks are where my power flows. My scars don't hide, they glow in the dark now. Every wound I wouldn't show became a lantern I hold. The ugliest parts of my story are the most beautiful. Unshaken, unshaken, watch me be bold. Every scar is a chapter. The ugliest parts glow. Watch me glow. Play white single hit, voice single hit, voice alone. They watch me fall, rise to, rise to. I remember every face that didn't help me up. Not because I hold a grudge, because I needed the fuel. The same eyes that watched me trip are watching me climb now. And the silence from their side is the most beautiful jewel. I don't need revenge, I need elevation. The best I told you so is a life they can't ignore. They wrote me off like a chapter they'd finish, but I'm the whole book now, and they're begging for more. They watch me fall, now they watch me rise slower. Every step I take is louder than their mouths ever were. I don't look back to check if they're watching. Unshaken, unshaken, let them observe. The audience changed when I stopped performing for them. Now I perform for the girl I was before the pain. She deserves to see what happens when you don't quit. So I keep climbing even when I'm limping in the rain. They didn't believe, that was never my problem. My problem was on believing them too. Now I'm standing where their doubt can't reach me, and the view from here is clearer than I ever knew. They watch me fall, now they watch me rise slower. Every step I take is louder than their mouths ever were. I don't look back to check if they're watching. Unshaken, unshaken, let them observe. Hey, unshaken, almost a whisper. Halo pulse like a heartbeat recovering. Voice alone, tired but peaceful. I learned to lose before I learned kingful. Losing was my kingdom. Nobody teaches you how to lose gracefully. They teach you winning, the speeches, the trophies, the shine. But losing is the teacher that stays in the room. And the lessons from defeat are the ones that become mine. I lost jobs, lost love, lost versions of myself. I lost so many times, I stopped counting the falls. But counting isn't the point, standing up is. And every time I stood up, I grew taller than my walls. I learned to lose before I learned to win. Every defeat was a down payment on who I become. The scoreboard doesn't show what losing taught me. Unshaken, unshaken, losing was my kingdom. The first time I lost everything, I thought it was over. The 10th time I lost, I knew it was a reroute. Now when I lose, I look for the hidden gift, because losing always leaves some behind, no doubt. What looks like failure from the outside is often the fastest route to the throne. The ones who never lost don't know how to keep winning. I lost enough to know I'll never walk alone. I learned to lose before I learned to win. Every defeat was a down payment on who I become. The scoreboard doesn't show what losing taught me. Unshaken, unshaken, losing was my kingdom. Losing is not the end. 808 hit. Losing is tuition. 808 hit. I paid in full. 808 hit. Now I collect. Now I collect. I forgot what silence sounded like before today. The thunder lived in my chest for so many years. Every morning I woke up ready for the next wave. Now I'm standing in the calm and I'm fighting back tears. Not because I'm weak, because I forgot I could rest. The battle was so loud I lost my sense of quiet. But silence isn't emptiness, it's a room full of proof that I survived what was supposed to make me a riot. The silence after the storm is not loneliness, it's the sound of my lungs roaring how to breathe. I don't need the chaos to feel like I'm fighting. Unshaken, unshaken, I'm learning to leave. I used to confuse peace with giving up, because my muscles only knew how to clench and hold. But rest is not retreat, it's reloading. And even war asleep before they're brave and bold. The quiet scared me more than the thunder ever did, because in silence I had to hear my own voice. And my voice told me I deserved to stop running. So I stopped and made a different choice. The silence after the storm is not loneliness, it's the sound of my lungs roaring how to breathe. I don't chaos to feel like I'm fighting. Unshaken, unshaken, I'm learning to leave. Like earth beneath pavement. My roots are in concrete. My roots are in concrete. They told me to leave the block to grow. Said nothing good comes from where I started. But I've seen flowers crack through pavement, and I'm the same. The harder the ground, the deeper I've charted. I don't need to escape to prove I've evolved. My roots don't weaken me, they know how to hold. Concrete taught me pressure before I could walk, and now I walk like the ground owes me gold. My roots are in concrete, and they grow deeper every year. You don't have to leave to rise. Ashamed of the cracks I came from. Those cracks are the rhythm beneath my feet. They said get out to be somebody. I say stay and transform to be real. It doesn't have to be a prison. It can be the steel inside your will. My roots are in concrete, and they grow deeper every year. You don't have to leave to rise. You just have to know. The same ground that tried to keep me down. Unshaken, unshaken is the same ground that helped me grow. 808 alone. Don't tell me to leave.
808 hit.
I bring my block with me.
808 hit.
The concrete is my soil.
808 hit.
Watch me grow, unshaken. Don't tell me to leave.
808 hit.
I bring my block with me.
808 hit.
The concrete is my soil.
808 hit.
Watch me grow, unshaken. Single hit, voice alone. Times than I remember. I've started over more times than I remember. First time I had to start from zero, I cried. The 5th time I stopped asking why. The 10th time I realized starting over is not losing. It's just a different way to touch the sky. mistakes, it taught me something I couldn't have changed. You don't know what you're made of until nothing remains. And then you rebuild, not the same as before, but stronger. You remember the pain. The art of starting over is not for the weak. It's for the ones who refuse to stay down. I've rebuilt more times than you've seen me fall. Unshaken, unshaken, watch me renounce the ground. I've started over more times than I remember. I've started over more times than I remember. I used to think continuity meant never breaking. Now I know that breaking is just bending forward. The phoenix doesn't rise from ashes by accident. It burns on purpose, then rises toward. Starting over gave me permission to change, to leave behind what didn't fit anymore. Every new beginning is a door I chose to open, not a punishment, a chance to explore. The art of starting over is not for the weak. It's for the ones who refuse to stay down. I've rebuilt more times than you've seen me fall. Unshaken, unshaken, watch me renounce the ground. Bird drop. 808 a hit, 808 hit. 0 is not M, 80 is a kid, 80 is a Q, 808 hit, 80 is a Q, 80 is a Q, 80 is a Q, 80 is a Q. No one knows. No one owes me anything. No one owes me anything. I stopped keeping score of who didn't show up. The ledger was too heavy to carry around. Now I assume nothing from anyone, and every kindness feels like treasure I found. Expectation is a prison I built with my own hands, hoping people would be who I needed them to be. But freedom came the day I stopped expecting and started giving everything to me. No one owes me anything, and that is my freedom. Every gift I receive is grace, not debt. I don't wait for hands to help me up anymore. Unshaken, unshaken, my own hands I've met. I used to be angry at the ones who couldn't love me right, but they were just being who they were, not who I dreamed. Now I thank them for showing me early that the only promise I need is the one I've redeemed. I am not bitter, I am light. A weight of expectation was heavier than any stone. Now I walk into rooms asking for nothing, and I leave with everything I've grown. No one owes me anything, and that is my freedom. Every gift I receive is grace, not debt. I don't wait for hands to help me up anymore. Unshaken, unshaken, my own hands I've met. I owe myself everything.